Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. All right, so today I want to do like a commentary video while I do a speed art in the background. This is going to be an artwork of some of my characters that are going to be in my up and coming comic book, which is called Black Lotus. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the updates on, and when it's going to be released. It's going to be lit. I can't wait till it's finally done, and you guys get to just read it for the first time. But I wanted to give you guys just a few like tips and advice for people who want to get into comic making and doing manga. And I know even though I'm new to the whole entire comic making process, I feel like I've built up enough knowledge to where I can at least share what I know about what I've learned with my audience. Okay, so you're not going to be getting any crazy tips. You're going to be getting what I know so far, because like I said, I'm still in the learning stage, but I know enough to where people have still been asking me, yo, what do you do? What's your process? And what are some advice that you can give me so I can make my own comic books? So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into the freaking video. So the first question that I get asked a lot is about art. Now, people have been wondering, do you have to be good at art to make a comic? And the simple answer, in my opinion, is, well, of course, you have to have some sort of art skill in order to make a comic. But to be honest, you don't actually have to be the artist, all right? You can hire someone who's an artist to do the work for you. Now, I'm doing the work myself because I'm actually an artist and I taught myself how to draw, so I can do the art. If you don't know how to draw, you can always hire someone. But I'm going to assume that the people who are watching this are all artists and they don't got the money to hire somebody. So my advice to you is get good enough to where you can make art that is still appealing, but you don't have to be a master. To be honest, I think that the whole point of comics and their appeal is also the art factor. It's not just about the storyline. Even though there are some people who can get away with it, I'm just saying, me personally, I don't want to read a book and then the art will be looking like this.
He needs some milk.
Unless your storyline is so fucking fire that no one even cares about the artwork, then you can do that. Otherwise, get your ass some art lessons. Make sure you got a basic understanding about how perspective works, how proportions work, and all that stuff, that your characters don't look weird and nothing doesn't look too wonky. And then therefore, you should be good and set in order to make your comic. Next step is story, all right? Now, I'm going to assume that you built up your art skill and you understand how to do some basic art, and you're pretty good, all right? You're pretty good right now. Now the question is, do you have a story? A lot of beginner comic or manga artists always jump ahead of the gun and they start drawing out stuff and they don't understand what they're doing. And trust me, I was a victim of this too, okay? I know you're ambitious and you're passionate and you want to get your artwork and stuff out there and you want to make your story come to life, and it's so fun, right? But you can't get all that stuff done if you don't have a story. Comics and manga is not all about the art. It's also about the storyline and taking your people through, okay? The reader has to understand what's happening and they have to follow along. Because think about it like this. People are down to read a whole entire story, kind of like, novels or, just regular books, you know what I'm saying? And they love it. It's because they have a good, engaging story. But when it comes to comics and manga, it's not all about the art, it's also about the story and the art. So you're getting two, all right, all in one, okay? And don't worry, the story's not gonna be perfect, okay? And I don't believe that you have to understand the beginning and, in the end of the story, but you have to have an understanding, okay? For instance, I know roughly how my book is going to end, but it's going to continue on for a while, but it's going to have an ending, and I understand how it's going to end. It might change, but what I mean by that is you want to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. A beginning of the book is the opening, you know what I'm saying, the introduction, all right, getting people into the story. The middle part is everything in the middle. That's pretty much how long you want the story to go on. And the story can go on for as long as you want it to be, okay? The middle area of comic making can go on forever. Think about One Piece, for instance, okay? One Piece is still in the middle phase because it hasn't ended yet, okay? The middle phase can last for as long as you want it to be. but then you also have to know the end phase, okay? The 3 steps, the beginning, middle, and end. So, do you understand that? Do you have that down? And are you okay with how it works and how it flows as well? And then, if you can say to yourself, yeah, I have a pretty good storyline all written out, or I have an idea about how it's gonna work, now it's time to get into the fun stuff. And that's gonna be character design and world building. So, you got your art and you got your story. Now it's time to see if you can start putting this all together. What is the world you want to build around it? Because, in my opinion, the best part about comics in general is the world that they're put into, and also putting characters that fit into that world and bringing the entire thing to life. What year is it? What generation? What era? What style? What world do you want to build your thing around? Okay, is it a modern day world? Is it a futuristic world? Is it somewhere in space? Is it Stone Age or medieval times? Is it a mixture between those two? You got to figure out what kind of world you want to build. It can be fictional. The list is endless. Like, it's an infinite amount of worlds you can choose from, and it's all up to you which one you would go for. So figure out what kind of world you want to build, and then from there, you can start constructing and building from that. I think one of the worst things that can happen is, getting down all the characters and stuff like that done, but then not knowing and understanding the world you're building and also understanding backgrounds. For instance, currently I'm teaching myself how to photo bash because it's actually pretty hard to do so. I never understood photo bashing, but if you take stuff from backgrounds and combine them together, you can make an environment. Learning how to do stuff like that is a great way to help you understand backgrounds. Even though I can hand draw backgrounds, it's one way to save time. And that's what I did for this piece right here. I used the photo bash method in order to create the background. But like I said, you still have to understand how to draw buildings and other environments and stuff like that if you want to, create a believable world, because you can't photo bash the entire world. It's just, you could try, but it's gonna be pretty hard to do so. So that's why I encourage you to learn how to draw backgrounds, okay? Learn how to draw backgrounds from hand, learn how to draw perspective, stuff like that, understanding how that works, and also learning how to photo bash as well. Because if you can learn both photo bashing and if you can learn how to draw backgrounds by hand, you're gonna be a beast, bro, for real. So now that you have the art, now that you have your story, now that you have your world, now you can start doing your characters. What kind of characters do you want? All right, make your main character. And I'm pretty sure, to be honest, most of the people who are watching already have an infinite array of characters. If you don't have characters for your storyline, I encourage you to make some, okay? Because the characters are what leads the reader through the story, okay? That's what people are brought to. That's who they can relate to. That's who they can connect with, okay? You can have the best backgrounds in the world, you can have the best storyline in the world, but you have to have characters as well, because that's what's going to bring people and make them feel like they're also a part of the world as well. Who are your main characters? Who are your side characters? Who are the bad guy characters? Or who are your love interest characters? It doesn't really matter. Just figure out the characters that you want to put in your story, and that way your whole entire world will be fully built, and you can start working and making these characters become more relatable, more popular, give them backstories, all that whatnot, all that good stuff that that you can relate to and as well, and also can have the reader relate to in some sort of way. But you got to make sure that every character has depth, every character has personality, every character has some kind of, something to them that can make them stand out to the reader. And also, the most important character, the one you want to focus on, is going to be, of course, the main character. Who is your MC? Who is the person who's going to be following the entire story? Do you have an MC? Do you have multiple MCs? Okay, some people have multiple characters in one story. It's possible. So just figure out who's your main character, and is this character someone that people can relate to? Because the main character is the most important character in the book, and that's just facts. So you got the art, got the story, you got the world, you have your characters, and now it's time to start creating, start drawing, have fun, make sure that you're following along and that your story makes sense, and just enjoy the process. That's the most important part, enjoying the process, and take your time. You do not want to rush yourself. That's the reason why my book is not out right now. It's because I'm not rushing myself. If I rush it, it's not going to be good. All right. And I want this to be the best book I've ever released. So that way, you know, we all having fun and enjoying the content together, okay? So you got everything you need. Story, art, everything that you have collected together, and now it's time for the fun stuff. But you're stuck again. You don't know how to lay down panels. You don't know how to write dialogue, word bubbles, onomatopoeia, action scenes, all that other stuff that you need to make a story feel alive. It's a lot to it. But don't worry, I got you. But that's gonna be for the next video. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.